Hudson County News. So we got quite a bit today. I think probably even a little bit more than usual. So first of all, we're not going to be talking about much else but U.S. Senator Bob Menendez and these indictments. Well, he appeared in court on Monday, and that was on the superseding indictment charge accusing him of acting as a foreign agent to Egypt. He pleaded not guilty, of course, and his statement there is a doozy, so that's going to be a lot of fun to talk to you guys about. We also, just this morning, a bit of breaking news, the local finance board in Trenton voted on a proposal from the Jersey City MUA. It was $157 million, and they only approved $102 million. So we're going to explain to you what that means and how we ended up at that point. It was a pretty long meeting for just one agenda item. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Hoboken. You know, we just heard that on Friday the Israeli flag was stolen from City Hall. It has been re-raised since then, but there is an ongoing police investigation. So we're going to tell you what happened there and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunley Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So as I mentioned just a few moments ago, let's talk a little bit about this bit of breaking news with the local finance board and the MUA. A little complicated, but I think I have a pretty good grasp on what's going on here. So the local finance board in Trenton, they hear from various municipal and I think occasionally also county agencies for bonding, basically getting money from the state. They make these proposals and then the board votes on them. I mean, in simplest terms, but in this particular case, the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority came with $157 million. Now, $102 million was allocated for capital infrastructure improvements, and then $55 million was allocated for this new franchise fee with the city, as you guys have read from myself and from the Jersey Journal, and maybe a couple others too. This franchise fee is something that they've wanted the council to vote on, but they pumped the brakes earlier this month when it looked like they may not have the votes. It was approved on first reading by a vote of 6-2, and on that you saw Ward Councilman James Solomon vote no. Councilman at large Danny Rivera was absent, and Ward C Councilman Rich Baggiano also voted no. So more than likely will pass. However, it's going to take a while to get back there now, especially with this outcome. So what we saw here was like a 2.5-hour meeting. Now, granted, more than half of that was in closed session, but that's a long time for just one agenda item. Certainly, this is a large amount of money. The long story short, as it comes from Executive Director Jose Cuda, is that the $100 million, which he means $102 million in this case, would be a measure to address the more urgent drinking water infrastructure with the I-Bank, and that's the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank that municipalities often bond with, and meeting their maximum $40 million cap, which leaves us with no money conceivably for the next 8 years. We know what separates us between a developing company is a water and sewer company that functions. It's that simple. Now, don't forget, back in January 22, the MUA said that they're going to spend $1.099 billion in the next decade on sewer and water drinking system upgrades as part of the settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. So they have a lot to do. They also have those lead line replacements going on, and that's also running nearly concurrently. The timeline's only off by about 4 months, which also came up today. And that's no small project. That's $291 million in its own. Now, the franchise fee you've heard about quite a few times. We've seen former Governor Jim McGreevey, a likely candidate for mayor in 2025, has come out against this. And as I told you, a couple council members voted against it on first reading. Now, this is interesting because they made the argument through council that it benefits the MUA to extend the franchise agreement for 40 years to pledge revenues to bondholders for a 30-year term specific to the capital improvements. The current franchise agreement goes through 2027, and if they were to bond today, hypothetically, then they could only bond for 4 years. At least that was the contention of MUA council. That was Matthew Jessup of McManaman, Scotland, and Bauman. And we heard from a couple commissioners, and basically they said, in a nutshell, that they weren't comfortable with this amount, and that they were going to have to, they ended up going back into executive session, and after that point, we heard from Acting Department of Community Affairs Commissioner Suarez, and she came out and she said, you know, the board just doesn't feel comfortable with this franchise agreement, which was evident if you were watching the meeting. And eventually they took a vote and approved the capital improvements, but they did not approve the franchise fee. So this looks like something that is going to extend for a while. I don't really know what the next steps are. Also of note, State Senators Michael Testa and Declan O'Scanlan, both Republicans, came out against this, as did Jack Ciattarelli. Of course, he was the nominee for governor 2021 and looks to be running again in 2025. So certainly him and Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop are not political friends or allies in any way, shape, or form. So whatever happens next, we're certainly going to keep you in the loop. Now, with that, we're going to chat a little bit about this Portside Towers case. So this was a big one. This was another big rent leveling board decision. You know, we talked about the one in Hoboken last week. Now, this has been one that's been going on close to a year. I mean, they've been coming to every single council meeting, these tenants, and they've talked about unconscionable rent hikes, you know, 20%, 30%, again, similar to that case in Hoboken. Now, they had this hearing in June. It was not too long, maybe like 2 to 3 hours. And this vote, you know, most people were expected to get home at midnight on a good day, and this ended actually within probably 45 minutes max. And long story short, the board came out and they basically said the exemption was not filed on time, therefore you cannot be rent exempt. So obviously, you know, the community among the tenants is just ecstatic about this decision. I would expect an appeal to come, but, you know, there's nothing yet. We'll keep you up to speed. But a big win for these Jersey City Portside Towers residents that have been fighting this for a really long time. I mean, in simplest terms, one of the commissioners said, in consideration of the illegal rent petition appeal that has been presented to this board, I am making a motion, we do side with the tenants. The exemption from rent control was not fulfilled by requirements. So that's the easiest way to put it right there, folks. And then talking about Senator Menendez, let's get into what he said after he had to go to this court hearing in Manhattan on Monday. So again, this was a charge, a superseding indictment specifically accusing him of being a foreign agent to Egypt. Of course, we've spoke about this case extensively. So I don't really think I need to say too much more. It's him and his wife Nadine. You have 3 businessmen, one of which owned a halal meat company. They have this federal contract, and it's an exclusive contract that allows them to export halal meat with Egypt, the government of Egypt. So the comment from Senator Menendez was, as I said earlier, a doozy. His remarks, the government's latest charge flies in the face of my long record of standing up for human rights and democracy in Egypt and in challenging leaders of that country, including President El-Sisi, on these issues. Anyone who knows my record knows this latest charge is outrageous, as it is absurd. I have been throughout my life loyal to only one country, the United States of America, the land my family chose to live in democracy and freedom. The facts haven't changed. The government is engaged in primitive hunting by which the predator chases its prey until it's exhausted and then kills it. That tactic won't work. So that's something you don't see every day. And I imagine we're going to get a lot more of that between now and that June 2024 primary, whether Menendez is on the ballot or not. But with that, folks, we're going to take our first break, and we're going to be back with Hoboken 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View live on Uncut. John Arhitis. As I mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined with Hoboken 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher. Councilwoman, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So obviously there's been a lot of conversations recently, probably 2-3 weeks, that about Union Dry Dock and an issue you know well. Now, your opponent and others have noted the basic facts, and then we got into a lot of other stuff. But look, it's a 3-year lease approved by the council in February. It has that 2-year option, and then you have a large group of people that includes your opponent that says it'll be over in 5 years. We just got to mind the store, so to speak. And then we have people like yourself that says that's never going to happen. So how did you end up at this place, and what do you think about the opposing point of view?
Sure. I mean, at the crux of the issue is where would New York Waterway go at the end of whether it's 3 years or 5 years, right? Like right now where we are, we're hoping that they build, you know, a new operation site in Weehawken, but there's no evidence that they're actually moving in that direction. You know, we've spent the last, 7 years focused on trying to protect this site, and one of the things that we learned in the process from multiple reports is there literally is no other location for them. This is a critical transportation system for our region. It's a very important system for New Jersey Transit and their regional approach. And so I think when we get to the end of 3 years and there's no place for them to go, we're kidding ourselves if we think that they're just going to leave or we have the ability to evict them. You know, there's a document that has an eviction clause, but what my opponent is really like, either she's unaware or she's just misleading the public, is that New Jersey Transit has eminent domain powers just like we do, but their eminent domain powers, they supersede ours, right? We saw that, right? When New York Waterway originally went to acquire this, New Jersey Transit was behind them and backstopped their acquisition and said, we will buy it from you so that it'll never be touched. Hoboken won't be able to touch it. Our mayor currently was able to push that off for a long period of time, but that risk is real and we have to be vigilant about it. And I just don't see any scenario that says New Jersey Transit is going to let that site go.
So obviously it's not your typical landlord-tenant lease. It's not like, I'm renting out someone's second floor or third floor, whatever. But would it have the same concept?
So again, that's because right now we're the landlord, right? So New York Waterway is our tenant, but at the end of year 3, New Jersey Transit just says, yeah, we're just going to buy it, and suddenly New York or Hoboken doesn't have any standing or interest in that part of the site anymore. So it's different that way.
Okay. Now, another thing, on this topic and also on the broader picture, your opponent has said that part of the reason it took so long, it was so expensive, was because you and your allies on the council voted no on this and other related things. So what do you think about that point of view?
Yeah, so we never voted no. I mean, that was literally just a false statement, one of many that my opponent has made. We've always voted yes. I mean, eminent domain is a long process. This isn't you just wake up and say, I'm going to offer $8, $7, whatever it is, and the judge just says yes. You go into a process. You have to bring an appraisal. Both sides bring an appraisal, and then the judge will determine what the market value is, and you agree on the price, and you come out of it. So that is what the process is, and the process decided that the value was $13.5 million. We actually ended up paying $18.5 million because we agreed to pay an extra $5 million to New York Waterway so they wouldn't challenge the result of that eminent domain because it was already 2 years later. So we just kind of said, we'll give you an extra $5 million if you'll just agree to the settlement and go away. So
Right.
that's how we got to 18.5.
Now, a lot of people seem to be of the belief, as you alluded to already, that this Weehawken's ferry refueling station that they've had for all these years is not going to be there much longer. So why do you feel that, Larry? I mean, we haven't heard much from Weehawken on this topic.
So if you actually look at, first of all, we know Mayor Turner has said out loud repeatedly, I don't want New York Waterway here, I want to see them go, right? If you look at how they built out their waterfront, it's a beautiful park right behind it. It's where their 9/11 memorial is. They just announced a month or so ago a huge luxury residential development right on the empty lot that is where a lot of the people that work for New York Waterway actually park. So all signs are saying, you know what, we are building this out to be a beautiful luxury area, not one that will have a refueling station in front of it. And to be honest, we've not seen any evidence whatsoever that New York Waterway has even started, filing applications to the planning board there. At the planning board here, they, just joked and said, oh, we know Mayor Turner's not supportive, but, we'll apply anyway. Well, Mayor Turner sits on the planning board. He appoints everyone on the planning board. So there's nothing out there that suggests that they will be able to move forward and get approvals in Weehawken. And if we believe to believe anything to the contrary, I just think is silly.
Okay. So rats, what's been done to date? What needs to be done? What would you like to see be done?
Yeah, I mean, what's been done to date for rats? First of all, the administration basically started late on this. This is generally an administration that loves putting out headlines on, sunshine and unicorns, but difficult topics they are slow to embrace. And it was a lot of public pressure that finally got them to say, okay, we need to do something. And they did by this past summer by putting the first citywide lid ordinance out. And we've made some positive citywide improvements that actually I think are beneficial. But what I believe we really need to do is focus on hotspots. On 15th Street where I live, rats were never an issue, but about 6 months ago there was a giant rat infestation behind a property, actually the building that my opponent lives in. And we've been working with all the building managers and taking a block by block approach to address it on 15th Street, and we're still not there. What we need to do is address the entire city on a block by block, hotspot by hotspot basis. I had done a survey that got responses from 550 people. I mapped everything out. We identified hotspots citywide. I shared the information with the city, and I think that you have, the considerations at Pier A Park are different than 15th Street, different than 3rd and Madison, and you need to have kind of the local stakeholders, really approach the issues on a local level. We haven't done that, but I'm confident that we will.
Very good. Councilwoman, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere yet. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
That's at County View live on Uncut. John Arhitis still here with Hoboken 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher. So extrapolating on an earlier point, now your opponent has said something to the effect that you're just up there to create chaos, undermine the mayor, make yourself look good, maybe potentially run against him, and that's kind of why you do what you do. So your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't disagree more. Every day, I literally just fight for Second Ward residents. The Second Ward residents know that I prioritize their quality of life first. We get more done in the Second Ward than any other ward. As a matter of fact, I just put a marketing material together and just kind of listed, all of the quality of life improvements that we've been able to achieve. And the list was so long that the mailer ended up having to be a lot bigger than I originally thought. I have a great working relationship with the administration on important issues. I am able to have a conversation, with the mayor, and my opponent, is just showing to the Second Ward and to Hoboken, quite frankly, that she really just thinks that the mayor needs a yes vote. And you know what? I'm a yes most of the time vote, right? Probably 85% of the time we support all of the policies and legislation that comes out of the city, but 15% of the time we challenge, and that's when we get to have a real debate. That's when we make sure that the public's interests are represented on issues, and we take something that may not be that we feel may not be in the best interest for the public, and we can take it from either good to great or bad to better or something. And debate is important, and I think the message that my opponent is saying is it's less important to her.
All right. Now, 2 items that just came up yesterday. One, we heard that there was an Israeli flag at City Hall that was raised about 2 weeks ago, and it got stolen on Friday. Police investigation. Fairly straightforward, but thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, just awful. I think most people know that I'm Jewish, and so anti-Semitism is something that, I've grown up with. It's, part of just when you grow up in a Jewish family, it's just always something that you talk about, you think about, you see maybe different than other people. And something as simple as stealing the symbol of Israel right now, especially right now with everything going on over there, feels, particularly offensive. I hope that the Hoboken police will be able to find who did this. And, in a place like Hoboken where we don't have a lot of hate, it stands out more, and I just, I'm happy that the entire community typically comes out and really fights against hate like this.
Okay, point taken for sure. Now, probably the final point now, you also saw yesterday that the New Jersey Department of Health, through a deputy commissioner, I believe it was on Friday, wrote a letter and said that they have high concern about the Hoboken University Medical Center's finances, and they intimated that they weren't going to keep giving them handouts going forward, and that they haven't followed the plan, they haven't posted certain things on their website, et cetera. So your thoughts on this, and anything you could tell us going forward?
Yeah, you know what, it was both sad and alarming to read that letter. I'm hopeful because I know that they've been excuse me, I know that they've been focused on cost cuttings. We know some of the policy changes they've made. We also know that they've been focused on growing their revenues. They've expanded certain services in certain areas of the hospital that have been very successful. So I'm hoping that maybe that letter was more backward looking and that they're repositioning, for improvements in the future. Clearly having a hospital in Hoboken is important to all residents in Hoboken, so I would hate this to continue in a direction that would put something like that at risk.
Right. All right. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But maybe a related note, maybe not. Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health has this location, not exactly sure the scope, but opening at 59 Newark 2 days after the election. Anything you could tell us on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much. I know they're opening an outlet here. We have a lot of the statewide healthcare systems have offices here. We haven't had Robert Woods Johnson, so it's good to have them. I think it's more probably coincidental than anything. I do know at one point Robert Woods Johnson was interested in Hoboken Hospital, but I also know some of the other healthcare systems were interested as well when it was felt like it was a little more in play. It's difficult for a hospital to just close. Hoboken is a very important hospital, not only to Hoboken, but to the region. So I think it would probably be a good asset to maybe a more stable hospital system if for some reason CarePoint can't get itself, out of this. And having all these other systems in Hoboken is just good for Hoboken residents.
Okay, makes sense. Any closing thoughts?
No, listen, just that, it's the last 2 weeks of election. Everyone is super crazy. This is the exciting time. People are really, elections in Hoboken are like no other. People come out, they wear shirts, they wear signs. So I hope everyone participates. I hope everyone votes. If you're in the second ward, I've worked really hard for you for the last 8 years, and I'm excited to work for the next 4 if you'll have me, so I hope you'll vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
So let's talk about a fun one. It's about 2025 here in Jersey City. So everybody knows that former Mayor Jim Greenby and Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day, the second district, are all but guaranteed to run, even though we're 24 and a half months away, give or take. But an interesting one is that former Mayor Jerry McCann has been an advocate, a friend, a political ally for McGreevy, and now he's fighting with Tom Bertoli. And as you know, Bertoli is somebody that's done campaigns for decades. McCann have crossed paths many times, and after I spoke with them both on Monday, it was quite abundantly clear they really don't like each other. So now, when I spoke to McCann, he said, whoever becomes the mayor is going to inherit a tremendous, tremendous problem. This is 3 years in a row we're operating at a deficit. Am I supporting Jim McGreevy? Absolutely. Am I running his campaign? Absolutely not. And so nothing crazy, right? But then when I spoke to Bertoli, he said, Jim McGreevy is a friend of mine, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form running his campaign. From what I'm told, Jerry McCann is running his campaign. The last time Jerry McCann was running a campaign was the Jersey City mayoral special election in 2004 when he supported Lou Manzo, and we know how that ended. Whatever goodwill Jim has in the African-American community will go right down the tubes if he has Jerry running the campaign. Now, Manzo lost to then Councilman Jeremiah Healy by about 3.5 percentage points, but that was the farthest thing from this story. McCann responded, and he said if Jim had Tom Bertoli running the campaign, he'd be in trouble with the FBI and IRS. What he fails to realize is I had nothing to do with Lou Manzo's campaign. I was a supporter while Bertoli was working on the campaign. And this was a fun back and forth that continues, but I will just let you know that Bertoli ended with that the last time I was on the opposing side of Jerry McCann in a school board race, I kicked his ass. So yes, a lot of hard feelings there, as I mentioned. 2 quick hits, I guess we'll call it. Jersey City Ward F Councilman Frank Educational Gilmore supported the Children First team in the Jersey City Board of Education race. So I believe that's the 4th council member to make an endorsement. And also Bayonne Hospital, the Bayonne Medical Center, honored the late H. Mickey McCabe with a dedication and plaque ceremony yesterday. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. See you soon.